So if, whenever y'all are good, we can motion to adopt the agenda. Victoria Williams, move to adopt the agenda. To adopt the agenda. Second by the Vice Chair, Ms. Rhonda Wright. All in favor? Aye. All right. The second line item is the approval of the minutes. So if you want to look at the February 25th meeting minutes, and then when we are ready, we can go ahead and motion to approve those minutes. All right, motion by Mr. Allen to approve the minutes. Second by Ms. Victoria Williams. All in favor? Aye. All right, thank you. So we have public comments. No public comments today. Our second line item is digital tools, tablet-based meetings, discussion. This you, Ms. Rochelle?
Yep.
All right.
Good evening, everyone. I'm going to keep this real brief. As I've shared with you before, we go through an egregious amount of paper at each of our board meetings. And so moving forward in your packets is this presentation, is a quick how-to. We have spent the past couple of weeks working with our fabulous IT department, who's done a tremendous job of taking what was rattling around in my brain and putting it into action. And so what we have done going forward, starting at your April meeting, you will have a secure shared access site for your meeting documents. You will still receive email communication from us. You will still receive all of the information will still be posted and shared to the city website as is required. You will still receive your full electronic packet via email. What this will mean, though, is that going forward, you will have basically a drop link that will be a live shared folder, similar to what council uses right now for the meeting, where your packet will live for the meeting. So you will also have now tablets. They are not going to go home with you. You will have access to the tablets in the meeting. You will log in. And so you will be able, and it basically will work like a flip book. So instead of you flipping through all of this big giant stack of paper, you will have an electronic version. However, we will still have a table copy, at least two physical hard copies on the table. So if you're still like me, that I still need to flip and see it and flip through it, we still will have table copies. So this whole process will start in earnest in April. We were trying to get this all done for this meeting, and quite honestly, we just ran out of time. Amazon did us wrong. We had found the tablets that we needed to purchase and had it in our, actually, they'd already gone ahead and purchased it. And initially, they were like, yes, it will be here on Tuesday. And then they changed their shipping and told us it will be here in August. So to cancel our order, and so now we're sourcing it locally. But when we, for your for your April meeting, we will have Chip, who is our new to our IT team, will be here to walk you through the actual step by step. We will have the tablets in hand, so you know exactly how to access this going forward. And hopefully this will make things a little bit more of a seamless process for you, a little bit easier to follow along. And again, just being a little bit better stewards of our resources and a little less paper dependent. So any questions?
I have, I guess, a request. I would like to just Chip or somebody from the IT department to be available if anybody wants like a crash course or like a practice with it.
Yeah.
That way we don't just jump into the meeting.
No, you will not. So when we have at your April meeting, he is going to walk you through step by step. So in the actual meeting, you will have the tablet. He's going to walk you through exactly how to do this. And we will send this out once we go live prior to the meeting, exactly how to access this. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Questions?
Chair?
Yes.
I'll do it. So
Go ahead.
I did vote for myself. The legal updates.
Is that in the past minutes?
Oh, sorry, I see it.
It's okay.
I will fix that.
So we need to do anything, or you're just,
Should have a motion to amend the minute.
Mm-hmm.
so can you motion to amend the minutes?
I motion to amend the minutes.
Okay.
for last meeting.
Can someone second? Okay, so motion by Ms. Lois Wright to amend the minutes, second by Ms. Rhonda Wright. All in favor? Okay, and we'll make the
I
adjustment.
will make that adjustment. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, is that it, Ms. Rochelle, for
Yes.
the tablet update?
It is.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, we have a legal update now by our attorney, Mr. Kirby Glaze.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. The first thing I would call to your attention is that you've got a memo in your packet. That memo is not what's on the legal update. That's actually a memo that I had done at the request of some of you about the status of those properties that we had sold, that we had provisions for reclaiming that property. Just a quick synopsis, the bottom line, each of them, I've given you a little legal analysis of where we stand in terms of legally being able to do that. But the bottom line is, in order to do that, you have to offer to repay the money. And we don't have the funds. We don't have the money to reclaim the property. So we can't exercise that unless we've actually got the funds to purchase. So that's the status on those. The other items that are on the agenda tonight, there's two items. One, back in December, I had prepared for you a memo relative to the board appointments. If that is not in your packet, I brought extra copies tonight for those of you particularly who are not on the board in December. Basically, what we're asking the city to help us do is to get our terms of office in order.
Thank
you. The Georgia Code specifically provides that 4 of you are to serve for a term of 4 years. That's the same term, and then 3 of you are to serve another 4-year term, or to serve 4-year terms, but staggered, so that 4 of you rotate at 2 years. At the end of your term, 2 years later, the other 3 rotate off, so that staggered. Well, over the years, for various reasons, the terms have gotten out of sync. In fact, according to the best information we had in December, we had terms that ended in January of 26, August of 26, July of 25, one that had expired, 2 more in January of 26, and 1 in September of 26. I have communicated with the city attorney's office. I have prepared a proposed resolution. We've kind of gone back and forth. The city attorney, the mayor and council just appointed 4 of you to the board, or appointed 2 and reappointed 2. And so they're kind of, why do we have to do this again? The only problem I had, and I've pointed this out to them, is the resolution that appoints those members does not specifically set the term. It says they'll serve 4 years, but it doesn't say what that 4 years, when does it start, when does it end? And the terms have to be a set date, because they've got to be the same constantly. If they start in January and end in December, it always starts in January and ends in December. So I'm trying to still work the language out with the city attorney's office. There's not an issue with it. We just need to get the language of what needs to be done, so we get our terms of office in sync. Anybody got any questions about that?
You'll have that for the next meeting.
Well, as soon as the city attorney, we don't need to take any action. The board doesn't need to do anything. This is something the city will need to do. I'll continue to report to you.
I'm talking about you staggering us, putting three on.
We don't do that. The city does that. Yeah, and so it's just a matter of my being able to come work out with the city attorney the appropriate language so the city attorney can take the resolution to mayor and council, or resolutions, however they choose to do it, to get those appointments in order.
Thank you, Kirby. I don't have a question specifically about this. Just the prior subject we spoke about,
Right.
that you were speaking about the property. I don't want it to be we have to settle because we don't have the money as a board. Being a board of the city, we can always go to the city, and
And-
if there's
and
for
here-
any
well-
reason something happening there, we don't
Yeah.
want it to
Well,
just
here's
stay
the,
there.
Here's the situation. Just very quickly. One of them, our right has expired. The time limit has run.
Okay.
That's the Jasper, what I call the Jasper site, the
Okay.
site down here. The second one, the closing attorney did not include the language in the deed. Now, that doesn't necessarily preclude us from pursuing, but it's probably going to mean we're going to get into litigation
Hmm.
if we pursue it.
And
Now,
again, the goal of this is not to say we want this back or not. We want updates, and we want to know if this is a feasible project. Is it going to happen or not?
absolutely. And there's nothing in the world wrong with us reaching out, and I'll be happy to do it on behalf of the board, reaching out to the property owner and saying, can you please give us a report, tell us where you are, what's going on with the property. Oh, we got the property owner here?
Yep.
Okay, then I'll just let the property owner do it. All right. The second item then on here is the Kroger pilot payments. And again, you don't have the memo in your packet because this was a memo I actually did about almost 3 years ago now. And so yeah, about the pilot payment. I don't know what you're talking about it. Come here, go back in.
Well, we're gonna talk about
Well,
that. Hopefully we can-
again, that's gonna be dependent on what the city's willing to do and what the authority is. Here's what I want to do is give you the memo so that you had the legal background as to here's the situation. The pilot payment, there is an agreement. I've never received an executed copy of the agreement, but I trust that there is an agreement between the authority and the city that was executed at the time of the Kroger transaction, whereby the authority agreed to make those payments over to the city when they came. However, that agreement also provides that the city is to put those funds in a separate segregated account, which the best we can determine has not been being done because there is a corollary agreement between the city and the URA where those funds are to be used for very specific purposes under that agreement. So what we've done at this point is simply to give you the information, put you where you can kind of understand what the impact on the authority is with respect to all of this. Mr. Ed Wall, who's the financial advisor for the city, the URA, the DDA, has been gracious enough to provide us with an accounting of the transactions that have been done at Fort Gillem over the years. For reasons that predate my involvement with the board, there was a decision made after the Kroger transaction to, instead of having the development authority do those transactions, those bond transactions, the tax abatements that are used as an incentive to attract the businesses out there. Rather than to use the development authority, there was a decision made to use the downtown development authority to do that. What has transpired since that time is that out of those pilot payments, at this time, except for the payment that hasn't been transferred yet, still sitting in the most recent payment, the city has collected about $9,833,000 in payments on those pilot payments that came to the authority and then been transferred to the city. The Downtown Development Authority in fees that the Downtown Development Authority collects as a result of doing those transactions has collected about $1,724,000 in fees that the Downtown Development Authority has collected. The Development Authority has never collected anything from any of those transactions. There was no, and again, this predates me, so I cannot tell you why the decision was made. There was no fee provided for in the Kroger transaction for the Development Authority. I did go back and do a calculation to see what the authority would have received had it charged on that transaction the same thing the Downtown Development Authority charges on the other transactions. And at this point, the Development Authority would have collected about $5 million, just over $5 million in fees that would have come to the Development Authority. I share all that information with you, not because I think the Development Authority needs to get in an argument with the city, but it certainly appears to me that it would be equitable for the city to share some of those pilot payments or some amount of those pilot payments as a funding source to help fund the activities of the Development Authority. But that's the decision the mayor and council and this board have got to collectively come to.
Yeah, I want to add to that, Kirby, and I'm glad you made that statement. I think what's past us is behind us. I think
Right.
we need to move forward with this, and I think, like you said, it's equitable. And if the city is going to task this board to do, bring development or start development, then we need, money to do it. So I think it's very reasonable for us to go, because in essence, this $1 million was supposed to be for the payment of Fort Gillum, right? The initial purpose of this
pilot
money.
payments were, what happened was at the time that transaction was closed, that was the very first transaction at Fort Gillum. And that was to help pay for the money that was borrowed by the Urban Redevelopment Agency to purchase the land from the Department of Army. That has all subsequently been paid off. That purchase price has been paid off. Now, the Urban Redevelopment Agency has done other things. They've done improvements, they've put in roads, they've done other things. So there were other expenses incurred. But the initial primary purpose of that was to provide a source of funds to help pay off the purchase of land. Yes.
So how would this look like, Kirby, with us going, would this have to be in a council meeting, or this would be you coming, in front of the council with the attorneys? Like, how do we present this since, budget season is coming around and we want to present something?
Mr. Chairman, what I would suggest is that maybe the first step in this process is a meeting between you in your capacity as chairman of the authority and the mayor and the city manager. I'll be happy to attend and have the city attorney there if we like. But I think the first step in this process is to see what common ground we can find, and rather than go into a public meeting where people don't understand how we got to this point, what's going on. If we could start at a executive level, and then perhaps between you, the mayor, the city manager, the attorneys, we could come up with something to propose that the city council could find acceptable.
Sounds good.
Okay. And I'm happy to do that. I'm glad. I'll be glad.
Let's maybe hopefully get it done before next meeting.
I will make myself available anytime you, the mayor, and the city manager are available.
All right.
And I think that's all I had to report tonight.
Any questions, anybody?
So, 20 years, 2017 and 2029.
Yeah, those that if you flip over to the next page, that's kind of deceiving because it's two columns, but it shows you all of the pilot payments that are to be made over the life of bonds. Okay.
Ms. Dennis, I see Mr. Bernard here. Do we have a space for him in the agenda, or can he just come up and give us updates on the property?
You can provide, since we are talking about that property.
Okay.
Certainly, if he's available, you can allow him to speak to what his current plans are.
Are you okay with giving us some updates, Mr. Bernard? Thank you. Thank you, Kirby.
Well, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
I know just about everyone here. I don't think I have to reintroduce myself. First, the question is where we are with the project. I know everybody pretty much drive by the project every day. I mean, you can see where we are. The first phase of the project, which was putting in the retaining wall and raising up the property almost 7 feet to meet our stormwater requirement, putting in the sewer system, putting a stormwater detention system, putting our water in, almost $1.3 million worth of underground work has been completed. The second phase of the project is going vertical, and that's where the challenge comes in, because the vertical part is also based on markets and values. So as you can see, 2 of the houses are up. We're almost finished with the outside exterior. We just got the inside inspected, and we're getting ready to hang sheetrock. Those are going to be our model home, and based on the sales that those model homes produce, we're going to start going vertical. All the foundations are in except 2, and that's where we are, getting ready to, everything now is above ground. Okay,
How many more do you have to put in? How many more homes?
it's a total of 8 homes.
Okay. Plan on finish those 8 homes.
At this moment, we don't. Right now, we are dealing with markets.
Yeah, but so you want us to have that sore eye, but until the market change? Come on, man. We gave you a certain
So
in the beginning. Let me finish.
Mhm.
And that's been 3 years ago when you had promised that the properties would be up. I understand the stormwater, so you got extra year for that. But only 2 properties, not even completed, and you got 6 more to go. That's an eyesore on that part. And are you going to complete it? And when? You need to give us a time limit. I mean, we deserve that much because we gave you that, practically gave you that property. So at least you could do is complete what you had intended to do in a timely manner.
Ms. Lewis, I'm trying to put it the best way I could. We have met our legal obligation on that property. I'm just here out of courtesy to answer your question. Okay. So, as I say, we want to finish this property more than you. Our money's out there. So we're not out there twiddling our tongue. We have invested our own money into that property. And as far as I'm concerned, you sit on this board, but how much money you have invested in Forest Park? We have spent over 2.5. Hold on, I've let you finish. We have invested almost. I've let you finish, Ms. Ward. We have invested almost $2 million in that project so far. We're not going to let our money go to waste. Okay, I told you at this particular time, I don't know the exact end date. If I give you an end date right now, you're going to hold me to it. And I'm telling you right now, I cannot give you an end date. Now, I can come back at another time and I can give you an end date. But as of today, I cannot give you an end date because we're in the process of getting the project refinanced. Okay? And you didn't give me anything. It's my hard-earned money that I paid for that property. Okay. Okay. So we're not going to go back and forth, Miss Lewis. You know, let me tell you something. You sit here on this board in the past. What you have done for Forest Park? Tell me. Tell me.
Can we get back
come
to
on.
can we get back to the let's get back to the
we're here.
Yeah.
We're here.
Chairman?
Yes, we're here to invest our own money in Forest Park. Okay.
Mr. Bernard, is there anything that as a city, as a board, that we can support you into, helping you in this process?
It's a lot of things. It's a lot of things. I mean, the city is not prepared to handle developments. Their departments are either ignorant about a lot of things. I mean, we deal with a lot of issues. You wouldn't even imagine what I've went through putting that project and bringing that project this far. So when I sit here and I hear you talking, you don't know what I've gone through.
When you first got the property, Mr. Jasper, I was here then, remember? I know what you said. You gave us a timeline. You said when it would be done.
Yeah.
And 3 years later, you don't even have one.
Yeah, but were you there when it took the city almost a year and a half just to title the project to us? Did you know that? Did you know that, Miss Lewis?
Well, you didn't get all your stuff.
No. I'm saying, did you know it took the city almost a year and a half to title the project to us? Oh, okay. You know, you just talking out of your emotion.
Well, let's move forward.
Yeah.
Mr. Bernard, when these things come up, I would love for you to have us as a resource. You know, there's a lot of, our mayor is here, our new mayor. We don't want to hold this up. We don't want you to, you know, lose money or just anything we can do to speed this up. If it's our departments, I really take it serious when you say that, you know, some of our people that work here aren't, you know, competent or ignorant. I want to know like who this is. So we are
I mean,
not, you know, because they're not just dealing with you, they're dealing with every developer. So that's not what we want as a city.
you know, I give you a perfect example. We were going through the process. Typically, I mean, you guys sit here, but you guys don't know the process of how development are done. Typically, when a development goes in, all the stuff in the ground, or what we call the horizontal, is finished first. And then it flips over to your vertical. And typically there's a refinance period within that period, meaning that the first thing happens is that you put all your underground and your infrastructure in. Okay. Miss Lewis is there talking. She didn't understand that it took us almost a year and some, just to even go through the process with the Clayton County Water. And then on top of it, we have to get the state of Georgia environmental department to approve these drawings. You know, so it's not a quick and easy project. Understand? And then in the meantime, we are paying for all of those expenses. Every time we go and we submit drawings and we have to go back and change them, we are paying for all of that. You know, so you know, I think that, you know, her approach to me was just ill-informed. And you know, if I wasn't a strong person, I would think that it would almost felt like an attack. You know, you know. But again, you know, we are confident in what we do. Okay, you know, we did what we have done in Forest Park. Nobody else have done this. We came to Forest Park. We bought land on Main Street. We took an old dilapidated building on Main Street, flipped it around, and made it one of the most prosperous plazas in Forest Park, without no help from the city. As a matter of fact, the city fought us in every way they could. They delayed us with permits. They delayed us with everything that they could. And I can sit down and go step by step all the delays that these guys have done to us. So yeah, you know.
So about that, we're gonna have a separate meeting about that. I really want to know what that is with my other hat as a city, and I'm pretty sure the mayor wants to know that, because if you had that problem, maybe somebody else did too, Mr. Bernard.
I mean, I give you a perfect example. The city went and changed the ordinance that your permit only lasts for 6 months, from 1 year to 6 months. If you're building a project and you're ordering any special ordered items, you know that those things can last. You know, it could take a long time to get. And especially in today's world, where we're dealing with COVID, we're dealing with all those things that's happened in the federal government, things that has to be imported, you know, all these changes in tariffs, all of these things affect construction. You understand? You know, and the city went and changed the length in which you can have a permit. You know, and none of this was even brought to the public for their input on changing that. You know, we were in the process of getting our project refinanced, and we went to the city and we said, hey, our permit just got expired. You know, go ahead, don't charge us for the permits because they just got expired. We're in the process. And they told us no. I mean, tell me, what is the benefit for them to say no? Here's what we're trying to do. We're trying to build high-end homes in Forest Park. These homes are going to bring the highest tax revenue in the city in perpetuity. And the city couldn't give up $1,000 just to get this deal done.
Yeah.
You
Bernard,
know,
that's
and
not
these are
this
just one of these examples.
I just want, that's not this board. That's kind of like us as a city, with as the mayor, not pointing at her, but I'm just saying us. So I want to just bring it back to this. I just want you to understand also, and like Miss Lois's point of view, as a board, that was one of our projects, and that's why we just want to know where it's at. I feel like you educating us. I'm not a developer. I don't know all that you just said, but I just think it's essential that we're communicating and just letting the public know that we're delivering on what we said we were going to do as a board, and that all those homes there. I didn't know you had all that trouble. One with the city, with the water. I didn't know. I just drive by there and I didn't see that the action happened. And then an alternative route, people on the other road, they just built all those houses, in a blink of an eye. And I know it's different because you have to build up and do the walls and all that. And I don't know that. We're not developers. We got your update. Again, you met all your contractual agreements. I appreciate you coming and updating us with this, but with the city stuff, we're going to talk. We're going to set up a meeting. I know the mayor wants to know and seeing, how we can help you and seeing what issues we need to fix. And on my other hat, I appreciate you investing in Jasper Plaza. It's beautiful. It's the nicest plaza we have in our whole city, to be honest with you. And it's the standard that we should have for plazas in our city, because the reality is our plazas don't look like your space. So I don't want you to feel unappreciated, but I just want you to understand it's just a sense of accountability from Ms. Lois. Maybe the tone wasn't the best, but that she just wants to know kind of where we're at with it, because we're not developers.
I get it that sometimes people think that when they don't see something that nothing is happening.
Yes.
You understand? And I get that somebody see that, but if for the last few months we've been working over on that property, and if she passed by there or even looked over there, she would see that we've been working over there for the last few months. Yeah.
If she do this,
Okay. I'll talk to you, Louis. I don't stand to talk. I talk to anybody. Yeah. But understand that when you talk to someone, get your facts together first.
I know one thing that we gave you a timeline 4 years ago, 3 years ago.
Well, your timeline.
Houses up there. I just wanted to know why they weren't up.
Yeah, but you have to. It's not just the way you ask the question; it's how you ask the question.
Apologies for asking little artists. Speaking artists, Mr. Jasper.
Yes.
Thank you, Ms.
Yes. And I promise you, Louis, once we finish the first model home, I'll bring you to get a tour. Is that fair?
Yes.
All right. Now, is there any other questions you guys want to ask?
Yeah.
You want to open that can? So we are committed to spend about $60 million in Forest Park. The property next door to our plaza is going to be a hotel, and the property to the left is going to be a mixed-use development. The problem that we're having with the city again is that they're telling us that we need to cut the number of units to our development from 110 to 60 on the hotel, and then on the apartments from 150 to less than half. You can talk to your council over there. He'll tell you that density is what makes these projects work. And if you don't have density, the numbers don't work.
I'm gonna interject here just to
Yeah.
give a little bit of context.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Y'all know what I say about density all the time, right? And yes, you are absolutely 1,000% correct. However, um, zoning exists for a reason. I don't work in zoning, but I work very, very closely with zoning, and zoning exists for a reason. So I had the benefit of sitting in on all of the early and initial conversations with our planning and community development department and the pre-development meetings with Mr. Jasper about this um, proposed hotel and mixed-use development. And again, part of our job as developers for the city is to make sure that the test fit works, that it fits, and that the zoning fits, and that the requirements fit. That we can't just say, oh, well, we're going to put 150 units. I'm just making up numbers here because that's what we want to put. We have to say, this is how many units can go here. We have to have a certain number. The road has to be a certain width, and it has to be a certain width and a certain distance because we have to have emergency vehicles that have to be able to get in, and not only get in, but to be able to get in and turn around and have to be able to meet a turn radius. So the issue was not just, and I'm certain if you have a conversation with Ms. Savan Irons Kumasa, she would tell you the exact same thing that I'm telling you, probably a lot with a lot more detail and a lot more meat on the bone than what I'm telling you, is that it wasn't an issue that the city saying, oh, no, you can't do that because we're being not pro development. The conversation that we had was that it was specifically related to not just zoning, because the turn radius didn't work for emergency vehicles.
But that's not correct.
Okay.
That was absolute. The last meeting, or the second to last meeting that we had my civil engineer on the phone that we were paying per hour.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole issue was that we redesigned the parking deck to allow a turnaround. So
Okay.
the issue of a turnaround, who wants to design a building that emergency vehicle can get to?
Okay. Well, I would
Okay.
love to see the updated plans because I haven't seen the updated
So
plan that address that. But I'm not here to get into an argument with you.
mhm.
You know, it is our job, and it is our job as all of the city. We are here for the development and are here to work with the developer to figure out it's not no, it's how. How can we make it work? But I would love to have a more substantive conversation offline to figure out how can we bring this project back online.
So the issue about meeting the emergency equipment, that was not the issue. The issue that we had was that the zoning was changed, and the zoning on Main Street was changed, and we as property owners was not told about this. When this plan was first initially brought, when I brought it to the people at the time at the administration, they actually approved the project. Now as time passed and other new people has come in, then that's when things start to change. You understand? The issue is not about the issue of the turnaround of the emergency vehicle. The issue is zoning. I mean, any architect or any civil engineer can design anything to meet that requirement. Okay, so the issue was about zoning, and Forest Park, your zoning in a commercial lot says that you can't have more than X unit on the property, and that was the issue. You know, and then also you guys had conflicting codes. You had a height conflicting code. On one of the codes, it's telling you that your building cannot exceed, I think, 30 or 40 feet. Okay. But on your downtown overlay, your first floor has to be 18 feet to meet the new design. So the question that I ask is, well, if the first floor is 18 feet, how is it that you can design a 4-story building when your first floor has to meet the 18-foot height requirement? That doesn't leave you with that much. So there was a conflict, you know, but the biggest issue was the fact that I think personally, there are people in the city that probably don't like me, and don't like us. And I think that that's the issue because the city green light, Moonlight, and Moonlight was a high density apartment complex that they were going to give to another developer right over here by the fountain. So to say that our development didn't meet that, that's crazy. That project is a 4.5 acre project. So yeah, the problem that we have here is that the zoning in the downtown area is incorrect, and somebody needs to change it. And if you want to, you as the development authority, if you guys want to attract quality development and the right development, those zoning is going to have to change. You understand? No developer is going to come to your city and put 8 or 10 units per acre. It's not feasible. The money's not there because the amount of money that you're going to have to put in the ground just to put those units, it's unfeasible. The state is going to require stormwater requirements. Just like what you said, you're going to have to design something for emergency vehicles. And that means, you know what we had to do to design for the emergency vehicle? We had to make one of the floors in the parking deck high enough for the emergency vehicle to go in to meet that requirement. That means that's an extra almost $1 million in construction costs just to meet that requirement.
What is that standard requirement?
Yeah, it's a standard requirement. You understand? But we were willing. I mean, we want to make sure that the people that come to our place, we can be sued. We don't want that. It's a liability. Who's going to take that on? We'll do whatever it takes to meet the fire or whatever code that the fire requirement are. But the big issue is that the zoning on Main Street simply state that you can't put so much unit per acre. And as a Main Street development, that is incorrect because you need density to make it work.
Yeah. Mr. Bernard, we're going to continue this conversation on the city side, and I don't want you to leave here feeling like, I don't know, well, maybe I can't speak for everybody, but I don't dislike you, and I'm thankful for your investments and especially your restaurant that I really like that food.
Yeah.
So I don't want you to feel that way, and we're going to work and see, like, I love how Director Dennis put it, how can we make this happen? So we're going to get back to you, and I know the mayor's going to want to be in there. She has questions and seeing how we can fix it, and I know that our planning, building, and zoning department has gone through some shifts. So if there's something we need to fix, we'll fix it. And that's one on my other hat that I'm wearing. But does anybody have any more questions, Mr. Bernard? Good question, Victoria.
So we can get it back on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so, and not only did we, I just want to tell you, to show you the level of commitment that we have, our hotel franchise, we already write the check and gave it to them. So this is not a pipe dream. It's a done deal. We have to contractually, with Wyndham, we have to build this hotel. If not, we're going to get our attorneys to explain to Wyndham why it's not built.
This is going to be our first hotel in Forest Park, I think.
Yeah, it's a Wyndham Garden Hotel. Wow. I mean, we have, and I actually sent the contract to your zoning people to show that we have a signed franchise agreement.
Yeah.
I mean,
we're gonna have a meeting next week at your restaurant. We just
so
Just like a hotel, right?
Yeah.
No, it was an excuse to go there. All right, thank you, Mr. Bernard. No more. Y'all are done with questions. You should be an elected official, Mr. Bernard. I'm not saying you're long-winded, but you can talk. I bet they love you in the holidays. All right. It was, no, thank you. Very enlightening. Yes. And you brought a lot of clarity to a lot of the things that we had. Okay. Well, thank y'all. All right. So we got we have a finance update.
Yeah, we're gonna tag team this super quick. I am not John Wiggins, but I'm gonna bring up our finance director. So as you will remember, our finances for the Development Authority were previously held outside of the city. We are halfway through the process of bringing our finances back into the city. So I'm gonna turn this over to Director Wiggins, who's gonna talk about where we are with at least step one of the process, and then I'll give you the second half.
Right. Good evening, everyone. Yeah, this is gonna be what what when Rochelle brought this to the finance department, she's correct about we have not been involved with the finance of the DA from the city's perspective. The only time we get involved is when the DA accounting firm would bring the numbers to us and we give it to our auditors to put into the audit report. Uh, as of like maybe a month and a half ago, um, there was a request to bring everything back into the city, which is good. So at that particular time, we are right now establishing a bank account with Bank of America, so we can have so the DA can have its own bank account with the city.
They don't have one now.
No, that was taken away from the city. And this is in far as I've been here, it's about 3 years. The DA has not been. I haven't had to do anything with the DA as far as finance. But what we're gonna do, we've already established a bank account with Bank of America. We've already deposited $8,000 in it. We'll order some checks so we'll be able to make some payments. But I want to encourage Rochelle to get all the vendors on board with the ACH payment that we have in place, so to make it easier for them to get their payments, as well as taking the burden off us about cutting the check, actual check. With that, we also are in the midst of with our own system, which is our Encode, establishing. We have a budget account lines that's already established, but what we need to do is establish a connection between Encode and Bank of America, so we can be able to cut checks, and that's what we are in the midst of doing right now. So we Encode having a few issues, but we're gonna get there, and then eventually we probably be moving toward OpenGov. Right now, the procurement side, that the DA does not have to operate with our procurement department unless you want to have our procurement department to do RFP or anything like that. But with the procurement, you can just go through Rochelle. You can just go get your normal 3 quotes and vet the vendor, whoever you want to try to do business with. You can do that here on the board. We don't have anything, but the only thing that you do have to abide by is our accounts payable department, because that's how we're going to cut the checks, and that's how we're going to be able to pay the vendors. So with our accounts payable department, you would have to on occasion get a requisition, go through to get a PO process, and go through the cycle of getting the vendor paid. But we usually cut checks every week. So I do work on a net 30, but when I do cut checks every week, that's I'm trying to speed it up. So but basically we are halfway there. I think it's not going to be long. And that's basically it from finance. Right now, we don't have any kind of reports to give you. We don't have anything tangible to report.
Yep. So I've got a couple of things that I need from you. So I do thank you. So I do need a motion from the board, because I do need to move forward with closing our existing bank account. And I need your authorization to do so. So there's kind of a 2-step process to close out our existing bank account and take the proceeds of that account and bring them back in into the city, into our new Bank of America account here in the city. And then the second thing that I need authorization for is to cancel the services of Marshall Jones, who is our accountant that the Development Authority has been using.
So you need to move the $6,000 to the $8,000?
Hmm.
Is that what you're moving the six?
More or less.
So we got $14,000.
Well, that is not that. This is your budget. That's not your budget to actual.
So the account that we have now, we get ready to move it back.
All of, yes, your current funds, everything that is currently sitting in a bank account, it's your bank account downtown in Buckhead, will come into your Bank of America account here in the city.
Okay.
So you can have a full, accurate account of all of your funds will sit in one account that will be controlled by the city of Forest Park.
And he would be the.
And then your treasurer will now be the city of Forest Park.
Exactly. And then I'll be able to do bank reconciliations
Okay.
and be able to and that'll be done monthly.
Mhm.
And then we'll be able to get some reports to you so you can be able to see your bank account every month for the meeting.
Okay. Okay.
And then I can go through some of the expenses with you too.
So we can go ahead and do that now.
Mhm.
I want it all jumbled together, so we can.
Yes.
Yeah, so. We're going, go ahead.
You make the motion to close the account? Somebody.
All right. To close out the previous account.
All right, so motion by Vice Chairman Rhonda Wright to close the old account and bring our funds to the new Bank of America account, and seconded by Mr. Allen.
Our current.
And we got a motion to end the service to the current accounting firm. We need a second. Second. All right, all in favor for both motions? Aye.
Perfect. Thank you. And then the other thing, you don't need to vote on this. So we are knee deep now in budget season. So at your April meeting, I will have for you your draft FY 26-27 budget, which will now also be housed in Code or OpenGov, whatever we're using in the city, with actual budget line items. Yes, ma'am. Mhm.
So since is that gonna include all the rent payments? All the
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Do we have an idea of what's happening with that?
With the dentist?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Just very quickly, your chairman has been in touch with him. He is no longer using the attorney that he was previously using, which is freed up where I can now talk directly to him. So
Mhm.
we're trying to set up a meeting. He has made a payment.
he's made one.
Made one payment and has indicated he wants to sit down and work out a payment plan with us. So the chairman and I are trying to schedule a time. I just sent him an email today, asking him to give us a time that we can sit down.
So since we have the payment, we do actually have the payment, so.
It's already been deposited into our new account.
That was deposited.
Correct. That actually is not the 8. It was 1820 is what he paid. The remainder of that 8,000 is payment from the ground lease from the billboard that you get each month.
So basically,
He's only made one payment. He's made one payment.
one payment,
Mhm.
so we.
18. Well, and that's the meeting that the
Yeah,
chair
he
and
was
the
trying
attorney,
to set up
a payment plan.
Because he's got to be current, but he's got to keep up, he's got to.
Exactly.
What he's
Okay,
not paid
Mhm.
in the past.
so when is this meeting supposed to take?
Well, I reached out to him by email today. I haven't heard back from him yet. I couldn't contact him directly because he was represented. Ethically, I can't talk to someone who's represented by another attorney.
Right.
Until I got notice just this past week that, both from him and from his attorney. that she represented him on this matter.
Okay.
I know.
Appreciate that.
Hopefully we'll have that meeting set up.
Yes.
Yeah.
I always keep it hot and
Hector's
spicy.
talked to the chairman has talked to him at least once or twice.
Yeah, I spoke to him. He seems like he wants to do the thing. The thing's he's only here like twice a week.
Okay.
So it's kind of hard to get a hold of him when he's here, but he's gonna have to get on board with this or
So one more thing, do we already have the payment arrangement so that he can?
Not
go
yet.
ahead? 'Cause that's something-
That's part of what we got to.
what he can commit to.
Okay.
But, and while we want to get paid as quickly as we can, we don't want to make it so onerous that he goes out of business.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
that's all we got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're just trying to see how we just come to a balance.
Right, absolutely.
Like plan A, plan
Absolutely.
B, plan C.
And that's what we go and bring back to you after
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I mean, plan A, plan B, plan C. I'm not trying to talk about the business. Okay. I'm sorry, I won't finish. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, so I've got Mondula Jones, who is the CEO of the Clayton County Housing Authority, that's going to provide for us. They're right across the street.
Yes.
Going to provide for us a quick update and overview.
Sure.
Of all things housing authority. So I'm going to turn it over to him, to you.
Thank you, Rochelle. Development Authority, good afternoon, good evening.
Good evening.
I'm super familiar with this board meeting process. We have a board, the Housing Authority of Clayton County, on the fourth Tuesday of every month. So business has to be handled. It has to happen. I totally understand that. I'm Mondula Jones again. I represent the Housing Authority of Clayton County. Let me say, you all may know this already, but there are two housing authorities in Clayton County. So Jonesboro Housing Authority, responsible for Section 8 public housing for all of Clayton County. I know it's confusing, but the Housing Authority of Clayton County, which is the housing authority I represent, we're at 732 Main Street, so right across the street. Think of us as really the development arm for the county. So we're responsible for attracting a new housing stock, both single family, multifamily, to all of Clayton County. So when you think bond inducement, meaning partnering with developers, builders to build multifamily communities or single family homes or mixed use development where there's a strong or heavy housing component, that's kind of where we come in. That's how my day is primarily spent, meeting with developers and others who want to come into Clayton County and either rehab a lot of the older, and let's just be honest, poorly managed housing stock that we have in Clayton, or build new. Most new construction, most of what I get from developers are developers who want to come in, buy a lot of this old stuff, put a little bit of money in it, let it season, and then turn around and flip it. That's just how the market works, just to be totally honest with you all. I get very little interest as it relates to for purchase or home ownership opportunities. And so that's kind of where I spend the majority of my time, because I'll tell you all, my two primary commitments that I've made to Clayton County and our 7 cities is that I'm going to do establish a path to home ownership for Clayton County residents. So when I say that, what does that mean? That means a consistent, focused, targeted effort around financial literacy training, pre-purchase counseling, post-purchase counseling, wealth creation, all of those things to help advance our Clayton County residents and hopefully lead them to home ownership, which is something that we desperately need. And I hope you all agree, because we have a great county with some great opportunities, some great people, but we really have a county primarily consistent of renters with a renter's mindset. And we want to change that. The second thing is, as I mentioned, helping to attract a new housing stock. And that includes the diversification of the type of housing that we have in Clayton. Clayton County is comprised primarily of an older housing stock. We don't have a lot for the first-time home buyer, the move-up buyer, and the affluent buyer. We have a ton of old, as I said, stuff for folks at or below 80% of area median income. But we're out of balance, and that's great. But what we don't have, as I said, is anything that would attract someone. Think 350,000 to 600,000. Think 600,000 and above. Unless you're in Lake Spivey, there's really not a lot for you. And we got to change that, because when you think about healthy counties, they have something for folks at every station in life. So if you want to attract the talent that we want and need, we have to build for those folks.
Yes.
So that's primarily what we're responsible and what I'm doing. I'll tell you, we have a programmatic arm as well. So from a programs perspective, we do provide 1 month's rent, mortgage, or utility assistance for qualified Clayton County residents. We do that because we want to help keep folks in their homes. So I want you all to know, we don't receive any money from the county or anything like that. We are self-funded as a housing authority. So most folks don't recognize that, but yes, we are self-funded. We don't receive a dime.
And you pay for the first flat.
1 month's rent, mortgage, or utility assistance. Yes.
Oh, that's renters.
Yeah. Rent, mortgage, or utility assistance.
Oh.
We have to qualify, he said.
Yes, for qualified Clayton County residents. So that's one program. We also have a program where we provide up to $10,000 in terms of a free grant to help support the older housing stock here in Clayton County. So when you think folks who need having septic tank issues, heating and air, electrical, plumbing, not a lot of roofing because that can be very, very expensive. But siding issues, you name it. If it qualifies and we have a broad range for what qualifies, then we provide up to a $10,000 grant. That's free money. We do that to, again, support the older housing stock here in Clayton County. We have a special heart for veterans and for seniors, but it's available for anyone who qualifies. So you can imagine there are a lot of folks who come to the Housing Authority of Clayton County because they're looking for either rental assistance or this grant that I just described to you. I'll tell you all that I know it's confusing. We are changing our name. So I'm changing the name. So beginning April 1st, we will be Develop Clayton. And we're changing our name because it's confusing. When folks hear Housing Authority Clayton County, they automatically think Section 8 public housing, rightfully so. And so we get a ton of people who call, walk in, show up, whatever the case may be. And we understand that. So starting April 1, you'll hear Develop Clayton a lot more. Yes, ma'am.
I got a question, Mr. Mandela. You heard early the developer that he was here and he mentioned some of the hurdles that come with zoning. Do you have some of those issues with the county?
So zoning and planning is a big issue for the county, I will say. Now, that's not to say that we're not, as a county, we haven't got some things right, but there is some work to do. The perception, let's just be honest with you all, the perception for builders and developers outside of Clayton is that Clayton is not sure of what Clayton wants. And that so the question I get most often is, Mandela, well, what is Clayton County looking for? That includes our 7 cities. What does the zoning process look like? So that's not to say somebody's done anything wrong. It's just not a lot of visibility around, hey, if you are a builder or a developer, here are the incentives that we are offering as a city or as a county. Here's who you need to contact to get your deals done. And here are the requirements. You got to bring clarity to that. And once you do, so I'll give you all an example. The city of Sandy Springs is considered a city that does that very, very well. If you all ever get a chance to look at how they lay out, hey, you developer, you want to do business with us? Here's what's required. Here's what we want out of the deal. And here's what, we will allow you to do. So I'll just share that with you. I'll also tell you all, I'm encouraged and I was super pleased to receive this invite because just yesterday, I took a cohort from Clayton County down to Avondale Estates. I did that because Avondale Estates is one of those examples of a DDA that has led the redevelopment of a city. So if any of you are familiar with the Avondale area, it used to be very similar to what we all know. Now it's a place with mixed-use development, new restaurants, local restaurants. They condense the length of the street to slow people down and force folks to have to pull over, spend money, bars, as I said, housing, both townhomes, condos, single-family homes, so the diversification of housing style. All the things that we're trying to do. I took a cohort down there yesterday to see kind of what that looks like and how everybody has a role. But I tell you all, what I was most encouraged about is the DDA is leading that. And the DDA is leading for Avalon Estates. The DDA is leading even the growth going forward around that whole area. So if y'all get a chance, you might want to take a look. If you want to be connected to the DDA representation for Avalon Estates, let me know. They did a great job of laying out. And again, nobody's perfect, but if you want to see a model, it takes partnership, but the DDA is critical to that.
Do we still have a DDA?
Yeah.
Yes. Mhm.
I know that we supposed to have it, but we're supposed to have it all of Main Street, right?
Mm-hmm. But they were focused on Gillum a lot. I think now they're bringing it back.
From Christian Pharmacy on back to Fort Gillum. About that area. And then so that was the DDA. So is it the DA from?
The DA is citywide. Your boundaries for the development authority extend for the entire city of Forest Park.
I know, but when the DDA started, I remember when Angeline Butler started the DDA, they took the profits from the development authority, gave to the DDA. I remember when they started, so I wanted to know now what is the DDA in charge of?
The DDA is your downtown Main Street district.
Yeah, they just have Fort Gillum. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Your downtown Main Street.
That's all Main Street now.
Well, it's not not just Main Street, it's Main Street and Forest Parkway. This area is your downtown Main Street. Your central business district is the downtown Main Street boundaries. That's the area that is your DA. The DA, your boundaries are the entire city.
Well, but it also includes.
But it also now, but the DDA also includes Fort Kemp. That's a top, we're not a candidate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What I wanted you all to take from that is that partnership is required.
100%, yes.
We got to get better at partnering in Clayton
Yes.
County and being more intentional around what we want and driving that. But you all are critical. That's what I want to do.
And Mandela, who's tasked with this? Is this like a youth thing, or the chairwoman, or the like the commissioners? Like, who is bringing that? We recognize that's an issue. Like, what does Clayton want? Like, how are we creating that regionalism, like with all the 7 cities and with Clayton County, so this development can come? Like, what are we doing towards that?
That's a great question. So you all may have heard of Chairwoman Anderson Henry, or you will hear folks talk about this housing plan and study that's now being commissioned. So another thing that the Housing Authority of Clayton County that we have done is, so I started a task force. City of Forest Park to be represented on that task force. Now, Michelle, great representative for the City of Forest Park, but it's a select group of individuals. I created that task force because I wanted the 7 cities and the county to come together, get on the same page, and be intentional around the direction we want to go from a housing and economic development perspective. The first goal, so I started it a year and a half ago. The initial goal was to identify the funding to have a comprehensive housing plan and strategy complete. We found the funding. Atlanta ARC provided the dollars. So when you hear Commissioner talk about that, that's where it's coming from. It's fine. You know, the county has taken it, and now they're whatever. I just want to advance the county. But that came out of the housing task force.
Nice.
We meet every other month. That housing plan and strategy will speak to all the things that you're talking about, because this is going to address not just the county, but our 7 cities as well. So for this gentleman that was here, who I see all the time, a lot of the lack of clarity in his mind around whatever will be addressed in this comprehensive plan strategy. So we can move away from the old days of developer come into Clayton County, do what you want to do, and when we are stuck with whatever they want to do, versus, hey, this is what we want, and this is how we win, and this is what we're going to require from you to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where we're going. Okay. That's where we're going. So there'll be other things, because again, the goal of the task force is to continue to advance Clayton County. So Rochelle is super involved, and she knows, and she's aware of what we're doing, but that's the goal of the task force. So we're moving. Yes, ma'am.
One thing that I do also want to just remind this board of is that we have here in Forest Park is kind of our guiding, tome, if you will, our LCI plan and our comprehensive plan.
Mm-hmm.
And those for us are really our playbook.
They're supposed to be, yeah.
They are.
That's what.
And if
I never hear them being referenced, but they should. Yeah.
If nobody else in the city is paying attention to the LCI plan and the comprehensive plan, the Office of Economic Development and the Office of Planning and Community Development are. Because for us, those are our plays.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
I will tell you all this, and I'm not just saying this because I'm here tonight. I've said it to Mayor Elson, I've said it to Rochelle, I've said it to everyone. And my personal opinion, when it comes to where development is going to happen first in terms of Clayton County, is going to be Forest Park. Our proximity to Hateville, all the great things that have happened, the momentum, closest county, Fulton County. Let's just be honest. In my person, that's not to say there's not opportunities in Lovejoy, Jonesboro. There are. I want to see everybody win. But in my personal, the city of Forest Park represents the best opportunity for us right now.
Yes.
Proximity, just what you all have done and where you are. I believe that you all are the best opportunity. So
Well-
if a developer asks me, where would you suggest that I start? I'm going to always say the city of Forest Park.
100%. Thank you, Mandela, for that.
Yeah.
And I'll say, like, to quote my one of my attorney friends, when I'm gonna mess it up. How do you say it, Kirby? When nobody gets credit, everybody wins. What is it?
It's amazing how much can get done when nobody cares who gets credit.
Thank you. And that's a tall, that is a tall, task
No,
with
that's
the amount of egos we have in this county,
No,
with
that's
elected officials, chairs of these things. But I'll tell you that in Forest Park, that is no longer an issue. So Mandala, you come to us, you let us know. We're gonna address whatever the zoning, thing that
I
he
know
brought
you
up. We're gonna fix that, but we want to move forward and bring and have deliverables for our people. So I just want you to know that, and thank you for coming tonight. And that task force, that's amazing. When you bring community together, you ask them what they need. I think that's where the root when everything starts.
I appreciate that, and we have to do it. I'm sorry.
When do you guys meet?
So we meet every other month. I normally do it around maybe the first Tuesday of the month,
Mhm.
but so for right now it's invite only. but I will expand it at some point.
Do you think maybe you can give us a report, like whenever, just update us, Ms. Rochelle, because that seems very interesting.
Sure. I'm thankful to say the task force is doing some really good things.
Amazing.
The primary benefit is Clayton County. We want to win.
100%.
Let me say this last piece and I'm gonna let you all go. So in terms of how we can support each other, I want you all to know the Housing Authority is a partner. We have a vested interest in the city of Forest Park. We office here. We have a vested interest in seeing the city of Forest Park grow in the right and responsible way. So some of the things that we can do to support each other is, and I've said this to Rochelle, but as you all do things, let the Housing Authority know so that we can come behind you on social media and support. Hey, things are happening in the city of Forest Park. That's all, because you all know this, but perception around the metropolitan Atlanta area is not going to change until we take the leadership. We cannot wait for them to figure it out. Like, oh yeah, Clayton County is a gold mine. We have to tell them Clayton County is a gold mine. So that's one of the ways that we would love to come behind you and support you. Our space is available. So Development Authority, if you want to use our boardroom, conference room, or whatever the case may be, I'll make it available to you. Not a problem. We're partners. We're a developer, so I purchase property as well. So that could be an infill lot. That could be 6 acres. It could be 60 acres. Again, my focus is on bringing in new housing stock specifically for purchase to Clayton County. And I'll tell you all, and I'll say this until I'm no longer with the Housing Authority. My focus, so you all know, is the 90% to 140% of area median income. That is my focus. Because that's what we need as a county.
Yes.
To regain our health and be a healthy county. Look at Cobb County, Gwinnett County. They have something for everyone, not just something for the low to moderate income. Which God bless those people, and we want something for them as well. Yes, sir.
I hear you. Everything you guys do is great. How well do you work with school system?
Yes,
that's a huge part.
It's a huge part.
For young kids.
Yeah.
That was probably number one thing
for most. Yes. So the school system is represented on the task force, and I did that intentionally. Also, because we have the ability to speak to tax abatement and stuff like that. I'm cognizant of the fact that we're not in a place right now where I can offer 99% no taxes. I mean, 99 years, no taxes, 50 years, no taxes. I'll just be totally honest with you all. Clayton has done a lot of that in the past, and it's come back to life.
Oh my God.
So I'm cognizant of that because that hurts our schools and our police and our fire and service and all of it. So I have that in mind as I'm thinking about, oh, hey, this developer would like to come into Clayton County. Talk to me about what you want, what you plan to develop. Does it meet and align with the mission of the Housing Authority in Clayton County? And then how do we address this whole tax abatement piece? Because right now I can't offer you that. So I hope that answers your question, but I do have the school system. It does. Yeah. Even the fact that they're representative. Yeah. Yes. And I'll say to you again, and you all know this, from a perception perspective, our schools, the biggest piece we got to address for real economic development and housing can take the next step. Let's just be honest. It's the truth. When people think Clayton, they think, oh, no, have they gotten their schools together yet? We got to do a better job.
Yep, that's what I was going to say.
Letting
Too.
folks
The
know
market
that, hey,
So much gonna happen in school, they only address
a lot of good stuff.
exactly.
Yes, it is.
We got to change that, y'all. We can't wait for the market to change that. Yes. So, yes, sir.
What, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
What do you kind of all these things you said about the different classes stuff? You have
So no. So it's gonna be a combination of some virtual, but more of it in person. So I just hired. How do you find it? I'll get Rochelle everything. I'll get Mayor everything. I just hired a young lady 2 weeks ago who is going to be primarily responsible for bringing this path to homeownership together. So yes, ma'am. But I'll make sure you all have all that information because we got to first start with educating our citizens, and then we'll start to see people take steps here and move.
What do you got on your little task force?
For education, I have Nicole, April, and so I had what's our new? I'm sorry, don't tell Hendricks. Dr. Hendricks came to the first a couple and then he assigned 3 people. Now I will say they are engaged, they are there, they have a voice.
Schools, because some places overpopulated, the schools like Lovejoy, they get so much over there so fast.
True.
We had to put out a whole other wing, just like emergency, we ain't got nowhere.
Right.
Because
But,
there's too many properties at once, we built it so fast, the school became overpopulated. Like,
so I believe that, but one of the greatest pieces that the school system brings is just, again, when Rochelle and myself and others, we're focused on housing and economic development. I could get lost and not remember that the school system is not as familiar with some of the things. So I have to think about, okay, if we make this decision, how does it impact the schools and how do we ensure that they understand this is the end result that we're trying to get you so that everybody wins. It's not just attracting more folks to Clayton County that's going to put more pressure on the schools, but this is how you're going to benefit. So they help us, not just me, but they help us from that perspective as well.
Thank you. Anyone else? Any more questions? Thank you. That was very refreshing. Oh, sorry, you were saying something, Mr. Allen?
We are partners.
I feel about the schools, and one thing they have to understand is if you can tie people's property value to the success of the school, like downtown Decatur, then you get more. It's not just people that have kids that participate, but other people that. Which again, you got to get home ownership up, so that matters. True. But the more people understand that your property value is directly correlated, and some
It is.
with the success of the school around you, then
it's directly correlated. The best school systems are always going to have the
100%.
highest
Yep.
and the most stability. That's just how
100%. Yep.
and that drives economic development. So, yeah.
Forest Park. I think Forest Park have a high end of Hispanics, and a lot of them are renters and not owners. I know I seen my community change over since '97 when I bought my house in my neighborhood. I seen it change, and I know a lot of my neighbors are renters, you know, and so how? I mean, you know, I got well, at least on my street, on the east side of me are owners, and in front of me is an owner. But before it was bought, you know, it was a big house, and the guy tried to turn it into a brownstone. You know, which I addressed it with code enforcement, and they took care of it.
Sure.
But I think the problem in Forest Park is not about. I mean, I'm sure that it has a lot to do with the economic development or the economic or the education level.
Of course.
So you got, like I said again, in my neighborhood, in my community, it's 75% Hispanic, and I watch it go from 75% white to 75% Hispanic.
Sure.
And I'm sure that was white flight, and now they're winners.
Sure.
They're winning their property.
So Clayton County and our cities are very close. We have the lowest homeownership rate of any county in the country, 39%. And most of those folks don't live in Clayton. They own, but they don't live here. So I'm a glass half full type. It's an opportunity. As I see it, but that's what the numbers tell us. So we got to focus on home ownership, which drives economic development and all the other stuff that we need.
And I think what we could do is maybe even Mandela once we have these these literacy programs or home ownership programs, is support you and helping with maybe with some mailers, and then have these maybe an educational series.
Sure.
Because we've hosted NACA workshops at our gym.
Sure.
Where we can educate people on. I know I'm having one pretty soon, but I know that people sometimes think it's harder than it really is to own a home. And now especially rates are going down now. So I just think count on us for that, especially
so we
here in
have
our
to
city.
partner. We got to partner. When I say creating a path to home ownership, we're leading it, but we're not doing it in isolation.
Yeah.
I'm talking about partnership.
100%.
Like
Yeah.
Yes. That's the only way we're going to be successful.
Matters.
We have to do that. We have to. It's time.
Because
Yes.
we've had NACA at the gym
There's siloed things that happen.
Yeah, 100%. They are. Yep.
Yeah, my goal is
We to work together more.
is
Yeah.
to pull it all together.
Because we all benefit with home ownership. People.
That would be great.
Yeah, we got to do it. We got to do it.
Ready?
Thank you. Thank you, Mandela.
Thank you all for your time.
All right.
And feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions, whatever you want me to come back, whatever.
Sir, do you have any cards, Mandela?
I do.
All right,
I do.
just give us some of those. All right, so no more questions, Mr. Mandela. We have old business.
Yeah.
2026 Development Authority Board Retreat, Economic Development.
So when we last talked, a couple of things, looking at potential dates for your development, what board is this? The Development Authority Board Retreat. And we have also talked about a joint board retreat between the Development Authority, the Downtown Development Authority, and the Urban Redevelopment Agency. Needing still to schedule a day as a one-day retreat for the DA. We've come up with some tentative dates. We will send this out in a doodle poll. I think it's called a doodle poll for you to look at. It is staff's recommendation that we potentially look at, for ease of scheduling, potentially looking at either Wednesday, May the 27th or Wednesday, June the 24th, as both of those dates are your board meeting dates already, and just expending the date. So it's a day-long retreat and making it a 9 to 5, etc., something like that. As
You said May 20th?
May 27th, or potentially Wednesday, June the 24th, since both of those days are already Development Authority board meeting dates.
Yeah, I can't in May either. Is that when they will,
McGregor.
that's not when they'll receive their training, like the new members?
No.
Okay.
This is separate from their mandatory board
June,
training.
what's the June date?
June 24th. That would be a Wednesday.
Oh, regular, so that would be.
That would be your regular board meeting day.
All right, so y'all can look at that and I guess get back with,
So we will
Ms.
send out. So
Dennis.
we said no for
talk to your significant others and see if they
May
approve.
27th. So potentially June 24th.
I mean, the rest.
I can't May, I
Well,
can't do May,
next
but I
week.
can do June.
June, yeah,
So the June 24th potentially.
on that Wednesday.
That Wednesday. Okay. So I will follow up in the next day or so. A couple of other things that I wanted to share. So we're going to move on, if we're okay, with our economic development update. And I have to brag on Forest Park. There are a couple of things that I have to brag about. So hot off the presses, a couple of days ago, is the C. Clayton. This is the Office of Tourism for the county. And I'm waiting on Beth to deliver to me. I probably have to go over and see her to get a stack of these, but there are a couple of things in here that I need to highlight for Forest Park. Well, one, we have a beautiful picture of interior shot of our farmers market. Hang on, I don't have my glasses on, so hold on. Flip. There's another one of our farmers market. And in here, I fought really hard for this. So under October of events countywide is our now county famous Blues on Main, that is now highlighted as one of the events that you must check out for the county for the year. So we are thrilled and super excited about that. But this handsome man right here with this amazing slab of meat, our very own Forest Park, Daniel Ray. Hey, Daniel Ray Allen.
Let's put it on
know
a
that
frame.
is highlighted.
Let's
in
frame
our
it.
Very own. I know, we're super excited. Yay, and
Just
super excited.
manhandling that meat.
And also in here, wait, I really do need to put my glasses on. And then also in here is the pho place. Yes. And I never can say it. Yeah, thank you. They take good care of me. Pho de Lao is also highlighted in here as well. Also another.
Where are they at?
Another one of the Forest Park's world famous. And I am not a big pho person, but their food is amazing.
Like
yes.
soup?
So Vietnamese. So as soon as I get, this is mine. You cannot take this from me, but I promise I will get more copies and make sure that we have them and have them around City Hall for everybody. There are a couple of things in your packet before I go through this. Hang on. couple of things, and there is nothing that you need to do with them. Kind of midway in your packet starts with this thing that says equipment share. It is not an action item. We get, from time to time, we get notices. There isn't any action that needs to be done. It's just a notice. When we receive them, we just make you aware of these are public projects, and these are just notice of commencements. There are a couple of them that are in your packet, just sharing them with you so you are aware. There is also in your packet, right before the economic dev update report, the 850 Main Street rental agreement. When we last talked, you had asked for a nonprofit rate as well as a Forest Park rate. So we had talked about a refundable deposit of $100, a weekday rental rate of $150 an hour. That would be the standard rate, the proposed standard rate. A Forest Park resident rate, it is our recommendation of $100 an hour, and then a nonprofit rate of $90 per hour. There is also a weekend rental rate of $170 an hour for standard, $125 an hour for a Forest Park resident rate, and then a $95 an hour for a nonprofit rate. I don't necessarily need you to vote or approve this evening, but I do want you to consider this, and then I know we want to talk about the
Well, I
intergov
just want
agreement.
to update.
Yes.
In addition to what's in your packet that Rochelle has given you,
Mhm.
I have prepared some, a more elaborate rental agreement.
Yes,
Yeah, that,
yes,
you know, requires indemnification.
absolutely.
And tells them, about how they're going to behave themselves and all that kind of
All
stuff.
that
So,
stuff. This is the for us, the kind of the basic framework. I promise we're gonna follow the letter of the law.
and then the other thing is we have discussed actually asking Parks and Recreation to handle the actual rental
Yes,
agreement, since they do that with other properties.
correct.
In the city. So I have prepared an intergovernmental agreement
Mhm.
between the authority and the city, whereby the city and the authority would agree to have Parks and Recreation handle it, but we've got to determine, share how the
revenue is shared.
what they get paid for handling the rental, what we get
Correct.
for handling the rental. So we're
Correct.
not ready to do that yet. I'm just alerting.
Right.
That.
These rates aren't set in stone.
No, they are not set in stone. So we've kind of put this together for you to think about, look at, provide some feedback and some guidance. We can go up, we can go down, we can do whatever it is that you would like to do with the rental, as well as really the more critical piece of this is the intergovernmental agreement. So Parks and Rec, or Recreation and Leisure, Recreation and Leisure manages the rental of pretty much our facilities, 696 and a couple of our other facilities that we allow rental use of. Back when 850 Main, the ballroom, was available for lease, Recreation and Leisure managed the rental of it before. So it is our recommendation that we have them do that again. However, we do need to have some measure of an intergovernmental agreement with the city to allow that to happen. But we also need to figure out a revenue split. Because right now it is my understanding that as Recreation and Leisure, because they're managing city properties, there is no due to, due from, because this is a development authority building, and we're asking exactly, there needs to be some sort of a revenue split. So, right, and they cannot keep all of our money, or they should not.
One thing that they got was $100, and that was for the cleanup. The person that stay and close and lock up, or you had to come back and lock up. That went to that person from the rec. Because I had a function there, and it ended like at 10 o'clock, and the person locked up, and that's the person that was cleaned up.
Okay.
We gave them $100. Well, that was Rex price. $100 for that. We had to pay an extra $100 for that person.
For the person. Got it. Okay.
Units are in that place.
5. call it different sizes. We do have some rough numbers of the unit sizes, and the reason we haven't moved forward with the leasing, there's still some, again, the closeout punch list things that need to happen so that we can move forward. We, as I shared with you before, from our fire marshal, he gave us a B in being able to move forward with leasing it out. So a B from Sam Bath makes me really happy. There
Yeah.
are a couple of things that still need to, and I know because Sam is tough. So I take that as a
Alright,
good
why we
thing.
don't
There
get the
are
permit?
some things that still need to
The
happen.
main reason.
And
we
I'm
get skipped.
waiting on contractors to give me a price list or give you a price list of here are all the things that need to happen and exactly how much is that going to cost you to get it done.
Managing the leases and the property.
Well, and that's what we're going to need to figure out because we do not have a property manager. The way that property management has happened in the past, and I'm going to compare this to the Downtown Development Authority, which is the next entity that kind of similarly functions as you do, that owns property that has tenants. The Downtown Development Authority has a property management person that manages the lease agreement and some of the rent collection, et cetera, et cetera. But it is also largely falls on our office, the Office of Economic Development. So we collect rent payments and take questions about my toilet's backed up, the light's broken, I need an air filter. No, it is not.
That's not. Yeah,
It,
it hasn't
it,
been
it
affected.
absolutely is not. It is not.
Just in reference to interboard, it seems like all of these are property.
We do.
So
We do.
it's all use the same one.
It is. And so one of
Or
the
would
things,
it be even more affordable just hire a person?
Well-
and then give them task, and then that can be one of their tasks.
possibly. So one of the things that we are looking at right now, and actually we have a Downtown Development Authority meets tomorrow afternoon. So the current broker slash property manager that they had been using is, and his services are ending. And so we are looking at moving forward with potentially new brokerage services and potentially new some measure of new property management services.
Property manager takes a percentage of the.
Yes,
So that's less. You don't have-
correct. Yes, correct.
We had,
Franks and White.
Franks
and White.
did it in the past.
Franks and White did it in the past.
For the authority, of course, the authority has sold some of those properties.
Some of those properties, correct.
So we don't have as much in the way of developed property.
Mhm.
Authority did.
Correct.
Well, they don't want them to do it on the strip.
But I'm going to be honest. We only have one. The DA. We only got one property. I
You
don't
only
think
have
it's
right
that
now, you have
hard for
one
us
property that
to
you
deal
would
with
be
one
collecting
property.
rent on.
So I don't know. Yeah, but I'm saying like,
Property, right?
but that we
That
would be
only
managing-
one built out property that you would be
So I
collecting
don't wanna,
rent
like,
on.
get a whole property, or if we had more, then that makes sense.
Table on that one.
you didn't pay them the last couple of
Yeah.
years.
They want to do it.
Also, you only pay
So-
when you use.
I'm gonna bring everybody back. So that's okay. So what our office is doing right now is that we are vetting a couple of brokerage services as well as a couple of property management services that can be do a dual role for the property that you currently own that needs property management services, as well as property management brokerage services for our other board authority that also needs the same thing. We're already doing it. So hopefully by April, it might be May, but hopefully by April, we'll be able to come back to you with, here are some options of how we can do this and share this across multiple authorities. Yeah. But yes, Mr. Daniel, to your point, yes, does not make sense for our office to continue doing. Yes, we have climbed ladders, and I need to go get what size air filter do I need to go get? Yes, we have. Yes. Any other questions about that piece? Yes, ma'am. Go ahead. No? Yes, go ahead.
Heading up the 85 Main Street, 850 Main Street facility rental.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Who from your office? You or yourself?
Mhm.
I
Well, it's right now it's kind of a combination of myself and Miss Clay. So Sharice Clay. Yep, you are fine. All right, go ahead. So, all right, y'all not gonna make a liar out of me. Go ahead. Yes. Did we wait? I got some good news for you. Go ahead.
One more little thing about the little square that's across from the dog park by the church. Did you talk with the church people?
Not yet.
Not yet?
Not yet, but we do have. So we have updated the lease. We just needed to change the dates on the lease, and probably that will go over to them next week. So, and we will.
Something that we, if they, you know.
Yeah.
we would like. And
No, we already have it. I mean, the lease is already. Y'all approved the lease several months ago.
Something about a cafe being in open at 8:50.
Yes. So the suite at the bottom is built out for a cafe. It still does need a grease trap to do a true cafe, but yes, that it is designed for that. And again, I keep telling y'all, if y'all want to see a tour of it, of the space, call me. Sure, call me. I will let you come see the space. Okay.
You can't lease this can't be leased until you get your.
Yes, I gotta get a certificate of occupancy. We're gonna follow the law and the process. I need a CO.
Mr. Rochelle, question is
Mhm.
unrelated, but people have been asking me about their grapevine, like where do they apply to be a business in
Call
there?
my office.
Call your office,
Mhm.
and we're currently accepting that. I'm
I
I'm
am
pretty sure it'll be out there. when
Yes,
it's
it
ready.
will, but they can call my office. We have a pretty lengthy list of people that have expressed interest. We are vetting. There are 3 food stalls, as well as a drive-through that is meant to be a coffee, tea, smoothie type vendor, and a
So
bar.
3.5 and a bar.
hmm
Is this supposed to be like a incubator place? Like the people come for like a year or something? And move on?
Potentially. Yep.
Nice.
Yep. Well, no, I mean they can. It depends. But there's also that kitchen. Mhm. Correct.
That's what,
Idea.
the idea, not forever. I hope that they extend to.
And grow it. The goal is eventually you will grow out of the space. So, right.
Be successful.
Okay. Y'all ready for some good news? Okay. All right. Because I know y'all think I'm just keep lying to y'all. The spring banners are done. Woo! They are done. They called me Monday or yesterday or whatever day that was. So the spring banners are done. Public Works, I had to call and hoodwink, and I think I've promised them snacks and food and all kinds of stuff. But somebody from Public Works is headed over to Fayetteville tomorrow to go pick up my spring banners. And so hopefully in the next week or so, you will start to see the old faded banners all around the park, and Forest Parkway and Main Street will start coming down, and the new banners will start going up. So, and then hopefully then by that time, by the time the spring banners will go up, the summer banners will be done, and then hopefully in that July-ish time frame, you will start to see the new summer banners going up. So super excited. This has been probably the longest project. I promise you, we have been talking and working and planning this whole process for probably it's taken 2 years now. So, but this has been a very long and slow moving project, but we are also proud to announce that this project has been paid for by our hotel motel tax dollars. So super excited about this. All right, next slide, please. Taste of Forest Park. So on next Friday, April 3rd, in partnership with the presented by the Downtown Development Authority, in partnership with Councilman Hector Gutierrez, in partnership with Food Truck Friday, and the brainchild of Victoria Williams, we are presenting our first ever Taste of Forest Park. It will be right across the street at Bill Lee Park, 721 Main Street. Food samples, karaoke, and more. We also are gonna have a,
Yes.
yeah, with Food Truck Friday. There is still gonna be a movie. I believe it's gonna be Ratatouille, I think. So come and join us. It'd be a great kickoff to our official spring event season here in the city of Forest Park. Next slide. Our third annual wine crawl, unfortunately, we were trying to finish our flyer for it and couldn't pull it together. But this is our third year doing our wine crawl. This is in partnership with Georgia Cities Week. This is one of our signature events that we do every year on Main Street. It's Friday, April 24th from 5:30 to 8:30 at the Fountain on Main. Features wine tastings. We do a wine pull, and I got to explain the wine pull to you. So last year we did, I think we had 30 bottles of wine. The beauty of the wine pull is that you don't know what you're going to get. So all of the donated bottles of wine, no, we did not use city funds to buy wine. They were all donated, but they're all wrapped. And they look like bouquets of flower. And the bottom on the bottom has a number. And so people came up, they bought a ticket with a number, and they go to a table and they find their bottle that has a corresponding number on the bottom. And the beautiful thing is that you don't know if you're getting a $5 screw top bottle of wine or if you're getting a $200 bottle of wine. We sold out of these bottles of wine, I swear, in like 15 minutes. It was an absolute hit. And so now I've got to convince people that I need double the amount of wine that we had last year. They were 20, I think they were either 20 or $25 a piece. So it was great. And then the other thing that we did last year for the first time, we did what is called Vino Bingo. It is exactly what it sounds like. It's bingo. But instead of calling numbers, we called bottles of wine and wine related things. And literally for a $5 bingo sheet, we sold out. Could not keep up with the number of people, and people were buying like 3 sheets of bingo at a time. And it was amazing and fabulous and fun. And so again, we'll figure out how to do more tables of bingo this year. We also had a sip and paint and music, and we'll do karaoke and food trucks and more. Yes, sir.
I guess my question is, I love this that we're bringing these type of things. Are we like targeting any type of developers or any type of investors when we do these things?
Yes, because they were the sponsors that helped to support all of this stuff that I think we needed to pay for to make it happen.
So actual like, so is this like actual developers or investors that could potentially come here, or business that are already here?
Both.
Okay.
Both.
So I guess for us, I mean, it'd be nice to know like who these people are. If we go there, that way we can show them the spirit of Forest Park or the nice people here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Huh?
Should be showing the spirit there.
Yeah, no, of course. But you know, you want to showcase the city if they were going to come and invest.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Go ahead. You're about to say no. Okay. Go ahead. Next slide. A couple other things. So this is our official groundbreaking, if you will, of our grapevine. Thank you to everyone for coming out. It was an absolutely fantastic day. And again, so thrilled and excited to finally have this project moving and moving in the right direction. Thank you again to the Urban Redevelopment Agency for their commitment and their investment. I'm also proud to announce that initially, the Clayton County Community Development Block Grant gave us the initial seed money to start this project. We had gotten a little derailed, but realized that we still had some funding left to be spent. Had a conversation at the event with Linda Boswell, who is the grant administrator for the county. Followed up with her after the event. Actually, we met last Friday. Realized that we had $396,000 still left to spend. I like to say that I can wow and razzle dazzle people. And so we were out of compliance with our grant date, but have been able to successfully extend the grant. So our grant has been extended to December 31st of 2026. So now we have an additional $396,000 to spend. So thrilled about that because that's a drawdown grant that we can use to offset some of the expenses on this project. So very, very excited to have that money be able to be able to recoup it and put it back into the coffers. Next slide. We also celebrated Shoe Trend, because again, we are nothing without our small business community here in Forest Park. Next slide. And we also here hosted our very first economic development roundtable specifically for our brokers and developers community. Next slide. On April 22nd, yes, April 22nd, we will be hosting our next Forest Park Business Association breakfast, and Mr. Janelle Taylor with the Small Business Administration is our keynote speaker, and is going to be talking all about financing and funding specifically for our small business community, and super excited for our ongoing partnership and relationship with him, particularly around small business financing. Murder in Music City, I bring this up. This premiered on February 22nd, but I bring this up because our film Forest Park is slowly coming back to life. It kind of got off to a very slow and rocky start, but excited that filming has started to pick back up. We have filmed 21 Savage, and then Pusha T. I don't know who either one of them are, but they both have filmed music videos, and we actually have got Pusha T, right, is filming again on Sunday on Main Street, is doing a outside on Main Street for pretty much a 12-hour shoot, doing a car shoot on Main Street. So excited to have the investment coming back into our city. Next slide. Cherry Street unveiling. This is the development right on Cherry Street. It's officially called now the Restoration Off Park. These are 6 ground up construction by Technique Concrete. Super excited about this, but we will do an official unveiling on Friday, April 17th at 10 a.m. We will send you calendar invitations. Please join us. And then we will also celebrate At Work Personnel, which is the newest business here on Forest Parkway, on April 30th at 11. So again, we'll also send you calendar invite details about that. Next slide. And I think I have talked all about this. Our GIC, which again is the Georgia Initiative for Community Housing. Our spring retreat is coming up on April 14th through the 16th in Tifton. Mandala has already told you about the Clayton County Housing Collective, as well as the Housing Assessment and Strategy, and the City Plaza in Blight. This is an interdepartmental project that we've been working on for several months. We have worked through a City Plaza playbook of how to help our commercial plaza owners come into compliance with their commercial plazas, but not just come into compliance, how to help them modernize their properties, clean up their properties, give suggestions around facade upgrades. And now, of course, the bigger piece of this is how we compete for funding to help offset the cost of this. Next slide. And next slide. And I'm gonna keep going. Now, one of the things that we are also working on, and actually we have a meeting on Monday, hopefully to finalize this. So each month, economic development and planning and community development has what we call a concierge project meeting. And basically we go through all of the projects that we're working on. And this is capital projects, economic development projects, planning and community projects. So really, so it's that we all know where it is, where in the pipeline is the project. And so we've been talking about this for a while so that we can have a public facing piece of this. We've identified a location where this can live on our website, and a quick and easy to digest. Obviously, what we will put on the website will not include all of the in the weeds information that we use for our internal meetings, but we'll have a quick snapshot view of project name, address, and where is it in production, if you will. When we started to, when we went through the list, I had a conversation with Javon earlier today, and his comment was, wow, I didn't know we had this many projects. And I was like, oh yeah, that's not even all of them, and so, and again, it's kind of that constant pushback on that narrative of, oh, well, we don't got nothing going on. It's like a lot going on. There's a lot. And so understanding the difference between that, there are capital projects going on for the city, but then there's also a lot of private development stuff that's going on as well. I'm confident that we'll come up with a clean and easy way to push this information out to our community, and so it can live someplace and then be updated on an ongoing and regular basis. Next slide. And keep going. And yep, keep going. And keep going. Yep. And okay, a couple of quick things. We've talked about Florence on Main, we've talked about 850, we've talked about Carter on Main, and then the GUCA Training Center. I did talk to Scott last week. This is your project, your property at 794 Main Street, which is under contract. They had we've been waiting on them to walk in their plans, so they can walk in plans, get them approved, and then we can go to closing and you can receive your funds. Their internal team did not like their initial the plans that their construction team had come up with. So they've gone back to make a series of changes. Hopefully, once they make those round of changes, they will clear their internal team. Once they clear their internal team, they then will walk them into our planning commission in UDRB, and hopefully we can move forward from there. So I will keep you up to date on that. And that is it. I know it's a lot.
Yeah.
I know. And I promised that it was not going to be long, and somehow this ended up being a 2-hour meeting anyway, right? Any questions for me? I'm sorry.
I have a business I just opened up in Ward 3. It's by Dave's Cheesesteaks. It used to be an old Subway. It's like a wing.
Oh, Whitty's, yes.
Yeah.
So we have been waiting on Whitty's. They are on our list. Are very familiar with them. We used to use their food truck all the time.
Nice.
We're waiting on them to give us her date. We've
Okay,
been talking to
perfect.
them
Because I see they're
several
open.
months. Yeah.
But
We're
I just want to make
we're
sure
just
we do
waiting
the,
on her to give us her date so we can do the ribbon cutting.
Perfect.
Whitty's, fried fish,
Oh, really?
and I'm telling you, and I am not a fried fish, but I don't know what they do to this fried fish, but I'm telling you, it's the bomb. Wings and fish on
It's where the
Jonesboro
old
Road,
Subway used to be on Jonesboro Road.
right near
It's like
Dave's.
right next to Dave's Cheesesteak.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, right over there.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
For the Taste of Forest Park, for the people that aren't aware, I guess, of our things, are we going around and letting them know
We've
so they
done,
can bring some
yes.
perfect? Okay.
Miss DeValda and Miss Cherise walked 3 days? Yes,
Get your steps in.
they definitely got their steps in.
Okay, perfect. So do we have executive session?
Nope.
Nope. All right. So if anything else, if all hearts are clear, we can. All right, Victoria Williams moves to adjourn the meeting. Ms. Rhonda Wright, seconds. All in favor? Aye. All right, perfect. Y'all have an awesome day. The meeting is over.
Thank you. Who was